Hotel apartments.
There are an enormous amount of people who are living in hotels. Entire families living in a room. They're buying full-on groceries, living in a room. And the entire hotel looks like it is inhabited by families.
This is the hotel that I reserved from November 17th, 2025 till May 17th, 2026, which is a total of 6 months, and it's gonna cost me $8,094.14.
A lot of people want to pay a security deposit, first and last month's rent. All you need to do is hand them your money, check in, and you get your keys. You don't have to do a background check, credit check. You can get housekeeping every week if you choose to. You get to pay weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. You don't have to pay any utilities, Wi-Fi, trash, gas, electric, water, everything's included. A lot of smaller cities, they're really cheaper.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. You can support uncensored conversations via Cash App or buying your girl a coffee. Hey y'all, I just want to pop in here and have a conversation about how bad the economy is. Living in a hotel isn't something new. I don't want to make it seem like this is something that just started happening all of a sudden now. People have been doing this for a while. However, it's really ramped up, and honestly, I think that this is going to be a really good video if you are one of those people that are struggling to find a place to live. You have enough money to pay like a lower end rent, but the demand for 3 times the rent in your paycheck and all this other stuff, all these other stipulations that come with trying to find an apartment, this might actually be something that you would want to look into, and it could potentially set you up to save a lot of money. So we're going to be talking about folks that are living in hotels. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Justin and I, we did consider this. If you guys didn't know, we are in the process of waiting for our house to be built. We were looking at different apartments for that in-between time because we needed about 3.5 months of a place to stay, or else we're going to be homeless for about 3.5 months while we're waiting for our home to be built. I was looking at apartments, and y'all, they want to charge you outrageous amounts of money if you want to have a shorter lease. That blew my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing the different leases here. I'm like, okay, we could do $1,700 a month. We could do $1,800 a month. But the moment I put in how short of a stay we needed, boom, $3,500. The same apartment, but they want you to pay $3,500 because you want to stay there for a short amount of time. I was like, oh, hell to the no. Absolutely not. Y'all got us messed up. I did, for a brief moment, consider, okay, maybe it'd be cheaper to go to one of these little extended stays and extend our stay. Now, luckily, we were able to stay with some family members, and that has been such a blessing. But for some people, they don't have that type of support system. For some people, they don't have like grandparents or great-grandparents or parents that they can rely on, or brothers and sisters, all sorts of friends. Some people just don't have a support system that can back them up when they're in a predicament similar to what we're in, or worse situations. Some people have gotten real clever, okay? They've gotten real clever, and they found some pretty decent apartment style hotels where you can have like damn near a full fridge, like a big old regular size fridge, maybe even a hot plates. Most likely you're not gonna have an oven, but I mean, if you have an air fryer, then you don't really need an oven. They have been making it work. I wanted to talk about this because the economy's gotten bad, and maybe you found yourself in a situation, you're trying to figure out something that you can do in the meantime, between time, till you figure things out. This could be a viable option for you. So this video is not me trying to dunk on people living in hotels. No, shout out to y'all because y'all found a real life hack.
This is the hotel that I reserved from November 17th, 2025 till May 17th, 2026, which is a total of 6 months, and it's gonna cost me $8,094.14. No, I do not have to pay all that up front. I can either pay $307 a week, or I can pay the $1,228 a month. You can even pay every 2 weeks. It really is up to you. Your total amount is your total amount. I'm gonna take y'all inside my room. This is inside of our room, and what we get inside of here for that amount is say hey to hubby. Also, we have the full-size refrigerator and freezer. It came with the microwave. It also came with the 2-eye stove burner here. We brought our own coffee pot and some extra items over here. It does come with a Full-size bathroom, shower, pretty nice size. And of course, it's all about how you make it, but this is what we are doing. Pretty much so we can like save up money, get a piece of land, and actually start paying on something that's ours.
When I was younger, I always thought that hotels were just for vacation. I thought that hotels were just for a brief stay, you know, maybe a work trip. Maybe you had to go out of town for work for a month and then you would have the extended stay for that. But now for a lot of Americans, it has become the only housing option that they qualify for. And this is the part that I really want to talk about. We all know the rent is astronomical. We already know that. But it's not just that the rent might be high. You also need excellent credit, rental history, oh my God, let me get to the application fees, income requirements, background checks, all sorts of stuff. I understand it because you want to keep out the riffraff, but this also affects those people that are genuinely trying to get their lives together and they want to be in a safe area and they have enough money to pay the rent. Okay, they have enough money to pay the rent, but they might not have 3 times the rent. Okay, maybe they have just 2. Or maybe, you know, they did have a rough time and their credit is a bit jacked up, but they're in the process of fixing it. It gets to a point where it's too much. It's too much. You're keeping out good, well-to-do people in an effort to keep out the riffraff.
A lot of complexes and landlords have made it so hard to get housing that people don't even know what the bare minimum requires without the bad credit, without the evictions, without the bad rental history. Not making 3 times the rent. You must make 3 times the rent. And a lot of people don't know how to truly calculate this before they go and spend their money on application fees, all that good stuff. The average person isn't even making over $24 an hour. But if you are making $24 an hour and working 80 hours, that's 160 hours in a month. Now, when you do the math on that gross income, you're making roughly $3,800 a month, which means you have to find an apartment with base rent that's about $1,200 or less. $1,200 base rent times 3 is going to put you at about $3,600. Literally. And this is where they void out and deny a lot of you because you think you make 3 times the rent, but you really don't. By the time they tack on their fees and all of that good stuff that's built into the base rent sometimes, you've already been denied and wasted your money on an apartment that you can't get approved for. Right after that is if you make 3 times the rent, proven legitimate income. Most of the people today, I realize, don't actually have legit jobs. They just know how to make money. That's cool and all when you think about the fact of they'll get their money either way. When you look at the 2 important C's of credit, character and capacity, 2 different things. Your character is you wanting to pay them their money, you knowing that you have to pay where you lay. The second C is capacity. Can you actually pay what you owe when it's time to pay? And a lot of times these people with these businesses and I sell products and I do this on the side, it's not guaranteed money. Without pay stubs, tax requirements, business docs, they don't believe you make legit income.
These application fees are ridiculous. When Justin and I were looking around for apartments where we could stay in, I was also examining these damn application fees. $85. What you mean to tell me you want me to give you $85 so you can tell me, nah, we don't want you staying here? Like, how much money are y'all pocketing off of application fees? Now, I understand that some of it goes towards, you know, running the background check, but then they also have other fees, administrative fees, like fees that kick in before you're even accepted into the apartment, let alone the fees that they give you for moving in, even though they don't give you no damn help for moving in. They're not going to help you situate your furniture in your apartment. They're not going to help open the door for you, help you carry in all your boxes. No, but they want a move-in fee. They want a move-in fee. They want a fee for this, a fee for that, administrative fee, all these different fees. But that application fee is the one that pisses me off the most, because what you mean, you're going to take my money just so you could say, no, but we're going to keep the money that you gave us. It's a damn mess. So imagine you're going around and you're applying for multiple apartments. You might be out $500. Depending on how many apartments you've applied to, you might be out about $500 before you even find a place that's willing to accept you. So that is also an extreme burden on our pockets when it comes to trying to find a place to live. It's gate kept so much that you're keeping out good people. And yes, you might be able to keep out the riffraff too, but what about the folks that are actually trying to have good intentions?
It's a nice community right here.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How can I help?
Good. Look, I'm just here to get a 1-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
If I had anything available.
Absolutely. How soon are you looking to move?
I'm looking to move next week, if possible.
Okay, next week. All right, let's see what we got.
All right. Nice little plank right there.
All right. Is there anything specific you were looking for your apartment?
Yes. I mean, something slight. What are your prices?
Well, we starting at 1,800. Yeah, 470 square feet.
For a 1 bedroom?
No, that's just for the studio. The 1 bedrooms are 3,500.
Oh.
Yeah, and those are like 550 square feet.
Never mind.
Yeah, I can take you to go see one right now if you're interested. Want to go see one right now?
Y'all got 1 bedrooms going for $1,800?
The studio.
And the crazy thing about it is some of these hotels are actually way cheaper than the rent you would have been paying for an actual apartment. Now, granted, the space is much smaller. So maybe if we do like the cost per square footage, then yeah, it would be more expensive. But if you're able to squeeze yourself into that smaller space and make it work, I mean, you're saving money. At the end of the day, you might have smaller space to work with, but you're saving money. You might run into a hotel where they might want like $1,500 for an entire month, $1,700 for an entire month. But guess what? You're not paying. You're also not paying the water bill. You're not paying the electric bill. And if they got complimentary breakfast on top of that, you're not paying for breakfast. It really does have its like checks and balances. Yes, if you are going to be living in a hotel, you got to work with a much smaller space. To be honest, if you found yourself in a situation where you can't get an apartment to rent, waiting for Section 8 is going to take forever and a day, you have no support system. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. Let's keep it a buck here. When you are in a bind, a hotel is still going to be better than having to live on your car or be on the side of the street. So yes, you might have to deal with having a much smaller space, but also you don't have to worry about paying water. You don't have to worry about paying electric. It's pretty relatively safe depending on where you're at. Yeah, let's be so for real here. You have to take what you can get when you're in these type of predicaments.
My family is living in a hotel, and by the end of this video, you either gonna love me or hate me, so stick around and hear my story. So last year, my husband lost his job. We had to use all of our savings to stay on top of bills, and we still ended up getting 2 months behind because it's so hard to find a job in this economy. So fast forward to the beginning of this year in February, we got our taxes back, and we went ahead and paid those past due bills. So me and my husband were talking one night, and we were like, why we stay in this dangerous ass city where we hear sirens every hour and our kids can't even play outside because they might get hit by a stray? On top of that, I was so depressed in that city for literal years, and one day I was just like, we don't have to stay here. This is just where we were placed. One thing about me, I'm smart enough to know that being broke, depressed, and staying in a dangerous city is a recipe for disaster, especially as a mom, because if I'm not good, my kids ain't good. So we packed up our kids and moved 11 hours away to a city that we've never been to in a state that we've never been to. No real plan, just $500, a job lined up, and determination to do something about our situation. We stayed at a regular hotel for about a month, then moved into an extended stay hotel, which are set up like studio apartments with full kitchen.
We're a family of 4 living in a hotel full-time, and I want to show you how that looks like because I feel like people are going to be like, oh, you live in a hotel, but let me show you how we got it set up. I think you're going to love it. So first up, we have the bathroom, and it's a pretty spacious bathroom. Like, I can't touch the walls, bigger than the camper we live in, but this is the bathroom. It's really nice. Comes with a hamper. Love that. Since we are staying a long period of time, y'all are going to love this part of it. Look. We get a freaking kitchen. Look at this. I also brought my own pot because after I saw what that girl put her you-know-what in there and put it there. All you have to do, put your underwear where you would put the coffee grounds. You close it, you press brew, and it puts scorching hot water through it, and you got yourself a cleaner pair of underwear. We're gonna put that up. Yeah, we're not doing that. She made a whole fort out of the chairs. So this is a kitchen area, and it comes with chairs, and then she's in here. What are you doing? She made a fort, so this is the kids area. Also, there's a second bedroom, but I'm not gonna show that because hubby's sleeping right now. But not bad for a family fort. We got a kitchen, we got a living room, we got a big bathroom, and I think this is gonna be perfect.
The other thing that I want to mention is to get a hotel, you don't need no credit check. They don't need no application fee. You have never paid an application fee for a hotel. Well, at least maybe the real expensive ones you have to do that. I don't know. The real expensive places, maybe you got to pay an application fee for that. But obviously we're not talking about those places. If you are trying to get into a hotel, you don't have to worry about a credit check. You don't have to worry about having 2-3 times the monthly rates. They're not doing all that. It's whether you got the money or you don't. If if you stay longer than 30 days, because some of these hotels, what they'll do is they'll try to kick you out or tell you need to switch rooms or, you know, something like that, because they don't want you to technically be a resident there. I think it's like after 30 days, then you could say like, this is my home. And then they have to take off like the taxes. It's some crazy stuff like that. So with that, you might have to switch rooms every now and again, or move out the room and move back in, or something crazy like that. For the most part, you're not having to jump through all the hoops that you would for an actual apartment. These are the type of life hacks that, especially in today's economy, we really truly do need, because not everybody has the best credit history. And we could sit here and wag the finger and be like, well, you shoulda. Well, guess what? Some people didn't. And they're trying to figure it out and they're trying to make things better. And I don't personally see the benefit in wagging the finger at people that already know that they messed up. You know, like, what do you want people to do? Just sit there and wallow in the fact that they messed up? Or do you want them to put boots on the ground and actually figure out how to get to the next step? It's one thing if they did something stupid and then you're telling them about it and then they're still doing that same stupid thing. Yes, absolutely. You know, we're gonna shame you for being stupid, but those folks that they messed up their credit, but they're actively trying to fix it. They're actively trying to do right. I don't see the purpose in sitting over here and saying, well, you should have. Well, you should have. I'm sure I could go back into your past, tell you all the things you shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda did. And you'd get annoyed and irritated with me doing that to you. So I don't see the value in doing that. For folks that are really trying to get their stuff together, this could be a viable option for you. It's something to consider. And that's the one thing that I do want to say about having a terrible economy, is that it really does bring out the creativity in folks. This is where innovation truly derives. It derives from a need and desperation. When you desperate and you're trying to figure something out, that's when a lot of innovation happens. We need to stop sleeping on the folks that have figured it out, have figured out ways to make things happen without scamming others. Obviously, I'm not talking about the scammers, okay, the spin-datters. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones who want to do right, who follow the law, but they've also found some ways to get through while still respecting the law, but also get their stuff together and be creative about how they do it. But I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. How do you feel about this whole situation? Have you ever considered living in a hotel? Have you lived in a hotel? If so, please sound off in the comment section and tell us the tea, okay? If you have some tricks, especially in this economy, I want to do more videos talking about different ways we can save money, different ways we can kind of help each other, okay? Each one teach one, ways to save money and really make things work until things get better. I want us to be good. I'm not sitting over here tooting my nose up at anybody, because we could all end up in that exact position trying to figure out what we're going to do, what our next step is. If you have any tips or tricks because you've lived in a hotel before, or you have specific hotel chains that you think are better, please let us know in the comment section down below. If you like the video, like the video. The more you interact with it, the more it gets pushed out into the algorithm. Also, hype the video if that's for you. Okay, if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. If you're feeling a little extra generous, the link is in the description to buy your girl a coffee. Thank you guys so much, and I will see y'all with the next one. Deuces.